What's going on, everybody? My name is Andrew and welcome to an episode of 5 and 5 where we're going to talk about the 5 things you need to do before you start investing in real estate. And we're going to do this in just less than 5 minutes. The first thing you want to do before buying an investment property is to take a really good and honest look at yourself and reflect. You want to look at things like where you are in life right now. How old are you? What is your lifestyle? Do you have any family to take care of? What kind of career or job do you have? These are all things that you want to consider and evaluate. Then you might want to start asking yourself some questions. What are some of the bigger goals that you have in life? Maybe you want to retire in 10 years, or maybe you have a dream job that you've always been chasing that you really want to do. Maybe you just want to have the time to travel around the world and explore things a little. Whatever it is you want, these are things that you want to consider in order to gain perspective on what it is you're trying to achieve. For example, if you're 25 with few responsibilities looking to invest in real estate, the way you do it might be considerably different than if you're, let's say, 45 with familiar obligations and bills to pay. Or if you're somebody looking to escape that 9 to 5 and pursue your passions, your roadmap will be entirely different than someone who loves their current line of work. Understanding these things about yourself goes a long way towards mapping your real estate investing path. Which brings us into the next point. What is your objective? Do you want more time or do you want more money? Here's what you need to understand. If your objective is to make more money, you might want to take a more aggressive approach on things like maybe flipping houses or buying into high appreciation real estate, or maybe you want to get into development projects. The benefit here is, well, you're probably going to make more money in the long run. But the catch is you'll have to wait. And while you're waiting, this is probably going to be costing you some money. Typically, properties yielding high appreciation also yield negative cash flow, meaning that you will need to leverage either your job or another income source in order to float those costs. The risk is that future circumstances may change, and cashing out doesn't always quite work as planned. But let's look at the other side of things. If your objective is to have more time, well then, you might want to look at cash flowing rental properties with consistent income streams to supplement your daily living. And I'm talking about things that matter today. There is a saying that goes, money in your pocket now is more valuable than money in your pocket later. I personally subscribe to this notion. I also believe that now is a very reliable thing, whereas later, it's always up in the air. If you target enough income properties, you can potentially free yourself completely from that 9 to 5 job and have all the time in the world you need. This tends to be the most attractive option for anyone looking to switch to part-time work or maybe quit their jobs, or somebody who just wants to spend more time with their family and friends. And a lot of us know that time does come. But whether you're chasing money or time, both have their advantages. What you have to decide is what is best for you. Which now moves us into our next point, which is finances. This helps to clear up exactly how we go about taking those next steps for whatever it is you're trying to do. The first thing you should look at is the bank. How does the bank see you? Borrowing money from banks is the backbone of the real estate investing market, so you need to understand how banks look at you. The first thing you want to do is get yourself pre-qualified. Lenders will look at a few basic things about you and determine how much they're willing to give you. They look at things like how much money do you currently have. They look at things like what is your income. They look at what is your debt. They want to see what your credit score looks like. Once they have this info, you'll know exactly how much you're able to spend on a property. And the second part of your finances that you need to consider is the personal financial impact. Now remember, when you say yes to one thing, you're saying no to a million other things. And if you say yes to a mortgage payment, you might not be able to afford that yearly vacation with family, or maybe you won't be able to afford those car payments on that car that you've been wanting to buy all this time. You need to give yourself a really good look at this. You need to look at what concessions you're okay with and what you're not, which will involve some tailoring of your monthly regular budgeting. Now, if you're new to the game, investing can get stressful. What reduces that stress is proper budgeting and financial planning. Maybe don't risk important things like your kid's college tuition. Real estate investing is supposed to elevate your life, not hinder it. Avoid undue stress onto those that depend on you. Learn your limits, stay within it. Now, once you've figured out your budget, now you can look at the bigger picture, the market. Now, when we're talking about the market, you can read all you want about it and you can study it until you're blue in the face. Everybody always talks about things like timing, and you want to time the market a little bit. You want to make sure that you buy the real estate at the right time. Real estate tends to go up, and when people say it might not be a great time to buy, what they might be talking about is these little dips that happen in the market, but overall it's still going up. What experienced investors know is that the key to overcoming these dips is to hold steady and not bail just because you might be hitting a dip. If you hold steady, you'll ride the market right through. What you should be looking at when you're assessing the market is what type of market you should jump into. And what type of market means, do you want to hone in on something like rental properties, student rental, single family rental, or do you want to jump into something that has high appreciation projects like luxury homes? Once you know what you feel comfortable with, now you can be focused on your property search. Which brings us into the next and final point, which is property assessment and finding. Looking at houses is fun and interesting, and it will definitely give you a lot of perspective. But the point of looking is to make a purchase and go on with your real estate investing career. There's really no point in endless window shopping if all you're willing to do is look and never pull the trigger. Although you're going to benefit by window shopping considerably because you're going to quickly learn the differences between how properties look in person versus how they look in pictures, which can be sometimes deceiving. But after a while, looking at properties will get tiring and you're going to have missed out on quite a lot of deals simply because you didn't know what you wanted, what was good, or what you can afford. Trust me, this will become extremely frustrating. Sellers and selling agents can ultimately tell if you're not prepared and don't know what you're doing. When you're looking at properties, you must have a clear purpose, you must have an objective, and you want to establish a clear idea of specifically what you want and maybe make a checklist of requirements that you want a property to meet. If you can do this, you will make strong offers with few conditions because you are confident in your position. And the difference between those that lose properties in their offers versus those that succeed in having an offer accepted is an understanding of everything that we've just talked about and discussed, and not needing to have a million conditions in your offers. It just shows uncertainty. The unconditional offer is king. So there you have it, everybody. That was the 5 things that you should do before investing in real estate. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. If any of these things seem confusing or complicated, you don't have to worry. Reach out to us for a free one-on-one coaching session through theprofessionallandlordgroup.com, where we help real estate investors like you go to the next level. Make sure to check out the information in the description below. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you on the next one.